And now joining us, Clayton Ruby, who's a renowned leading Canadian constitutional and criminal lawyer for decades in Canada. Thanks for joining us.
Pleasure.
And I should add, a member of the Order of Canada. And
thank you.
Because what we've seen right now is, to all effective purposes, if they arrest 1,000 people or more and then don't charge them, they've eliminated the right to protest and free assembly, but it's never going to get tested in court because they just drop the charges. They can go fishing and throw the fish back and nothing ever comes of it.
Bear in mind that your idea of what is a norm of Toronto policing is not based primarily on any value system the police hold that respects individual rights to protest. They seem to have none. It's based on limited budgets. And what we've seen here is a picture of the police state to come. What happens when you give the police unlimited budgets? All the men they want, all the toys they want, all the machinery they want, and the right to control huge swaths of the city. That's the police state that's going to come if we give them the money to do it.
Which apparently we did.
Which we did on this occasion, and which Mr. Harper wants to spend another $8 billion on prisons. That's the other end of this. So watch out for this police state. It really will come with money. And there's nothing to stop it, because those values of liberty and freedom and democracy are not cherished by the police departments.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the New World Order.
This is a point I think is very important to stress to those in uniform and to those in the dark suits in government who are serving this system while not actually instigating it, they're serving it. You have no power. I don't care if you're in the military. I don't care if you've got how many kind of stars on your uniform. I don't care what level of the police force you're in. I don't care if you're doing roadblocks. I don't care if you're pulling people off the street. I don't care what you're doing. You have no power. Your uniform has the power. Take your uniform off, okay? Put it in the wardrobe. Where's your power? Go and get another job without that uniform. Where's your power? You have no power. You are employed to animate that uniform, which is an extension of the state, and that's all you are, and therefore you are expendable. While you give your soul away, while you give your mind away, while you give your morals and decency away, advancing this fascist dictatorship, you will be okay with the fascists that you're serving. But your children and your grandchildren have to live in the world you are creating. And one day you're going to have to understand that, and I don't envy you that moment, because it's going to be horrific when it dawns upon you the world that you've actually created. The people in uniform and the dark suits that administer the system while not being the originators of it, they have to start breaking ranks, okay? Get some backbone, open your mind, look at what's going on, and get some freaking backbone before you administer and impose and enforce a world that will be grotesque for your children and grandchildren. In fact, not even that, for yourself.
After about a half an hour, the riot squad started to move into the protest zone, and another group of riot police came from behind Queen's Park and surrounded the protesters. They squeezed the protesters and bystanders as they pushed us back, hitting us with batons. They hit me in the back and my field producer in the hand, breaking his finger.
They broke my finger as I was trying to walk away.
Go on your knees. And they were also pepper spraying the protesters at that time. We knew we were going to try and follow the black bloc, so we wore helmets for protection. But we actually wound up needing them for protection from the police, more so.
I was standing here exactly like this.
And they shot you with
this. I was like that.
And they shot you with a plastic bullet.
In the knee. They didn't believe you. Oh, look, it made a hole right through my shorts, too. Oh, fuck, dude, that is going to be bumping tomorrow.
There, to the best of my knowledge, has been no use of other use of force options like rubber bullets. I'm aware that that's been twittered by a number of people, but that, like much of the information being put out by these anarchists, is misinformation in order to mislead the public and the media.
So it was my daughter and I, we went to Queen's Park. It was around 6 o'clock, and we had sat down there with two other young men. We didn't know them, but we sat down with them, and we were talking, and we were there just sitting there, and we were only there for a couple of minutes when the police line moved up to us, and I heard one of the police said, move. So we were all trying to get up. I was sitting on the ground, and I was trying to get up, and the two young men were trying to help me, and then I lost my balance. I fell back down, and then the police were, I guess wanted to get us, pushing to get us going, and Dad and my daughter told them, leave him alone, he's an above-the-knee amputee, let him take his time. And I was trying to get back up when one of the police shouted, get the four of them. And then the next thing I know, they're just piled on top of me. The police pinned me down. One of them felt like they had a knee right on my left temple, and they were grinding my head right into the ground. My glasses came loose, and one of the police said, "You're resisting arrest," and I said, "I'm not resisting arrest." I couldn't move at all. I couldn't move like a centimeter. I was just pinned right to the ground, and they ripped my hands out from underneath me, forced them behind my, put them behind my back, and put on these tie wraps really hard. My glasses were laying on the ground, and they didn't seem to care. So I grabbed them in my mouth. I held the glasses in my mouth, and then one of the police, they ordered me to stand up or to walk, and I said I can't. And then one of them grabbed my prosthetic leg and ripped it off without any explanation. He ripped it off, and then he ordered me to walk, and I just looked at him. Obviously I couldn't walk, and then he said hop, and I couldn't hop, and I said I can't. I never hop. It's very painful. So that's when he said, one of them said, you asked for it, and then two of them grabbed me underneath my arms and started dragging me away across the pavement, and my elbows were digging right into the pavement, and I was screaming at the time, and I was still trying to hang on to my glasses in my mouth, and so they dragged me, I don't know how far, but they dragged me a bit of a ways, and then they dropped me, and some other police came up, and they hoisted me into the air. They picked me right up, and it was sort of the same routine. You know, they were hitting me, they were accusing me of resisting arrest. One of them, they were saying I was a spitter, that I had a weapon, and things like that. These were all untrue. I couldn't resist arrest. I couldn't do anything. But they dragged me to where they had their paddy vans or paddy wagons. They threw me on the ground. They did some more hitting and kicking me. So anyway, then they threw me into the van, and then I was taken to the detention center.
I guess I'm just shocked, still shocked about the whole thing, and we need a public inquiry to clear the air on this.
I was protesting amongst other people, and I was swarmed by Riot police who then threw me on the ground. One of the Riot police had put their foot on my head to push my head down and informed me that I was resisting arrest when I wasn't. At this time, I had already said to them, I'm not resisting arrest, please don't hurt me. There was a number of Riot police that were taking my bag off of me. Someone kicked me, someone was holding my legs down. I had a few of them that were holding my arms, saying I was resisting arrest when I wasn't. And then eventually they got my hands behind my back because they asked me to. I put my hands behind my back, and they then put the zip ties on my hands, and which were really tight. I was losing circulation in my hands. At this point, one of the Riot police officers had pulled my hair and pulled me up off the ground by my hair. At this point, a number of them had brought me over to the paddy wagon and threw me up against the paddy wagon. One of them said that I was getting ready to spit. I said, no, I'm not getting ready to spit. They said, put your hand on her mouth. One Riot officer said for me to stop moving my head. It was virtually impossible for me to stop moving my head because he had my hair and he had my head looking up at the sky. The other Riot police officer then put his hand over my mouth, and I told him I wasn't going to spit. He told me to shut the fuck up. A number of they kept saying that to me. They kept telling me to shut the fuck up. They told me that I was provoking the people, and I was trying to tell them I wasn't. At this point now, while they have my head pulled back and a glove over my mouth, they then searched me. It was a male officer that rubbed both my breasts and went down and rubbed my private parts and rubbed my other parts and all the way down my legs. And after that, they said that they asked me if I wanted my bandana cut off my hair. And I said yes, please. And so at this point, they were telling me not to move because they were going to cut the bandana from around my neck. At this point, I have already urinated myself because I was so scared. And now I'm thinking they have a knife and they're going to have it around my neck and cut my bandana off my head. I'm sorry, it was very traumatizing and scary to experience that I have no rights and that I'm vulnerable as a woman, as a person.